You did it. The trip made it out of the group chat. You guys are ready to go. You've booked your tickets. You're gonna have the best vacation ever. But how exactly are you gonna do that? Lucky for you, I'm here to help. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Hobbies World. If you like food and travel content, make sure you like and subscribe for good food and good times. Today, we're gonna be covering 10 travel planning hacks to make sure that you have the best vacation. And make sure you stay till the end because I have a bonus tip at the end that's probably the most important. So without further ado, let's get into the first tip. The first tip may seem like an obvious one, but research. Research is gonna be your best friend when you're planning a trip. You can find all of the best things to do and make sure that you're doing exactly what you wanna do during a trip. Honestly, the first thing I do when I know my destination is I hop on TikTok and I look it up. TikTok is really good for finding hidden gems, for finding great places to go, places to avoid, things to do, things not to do. A lot of people make really comprehensive videos that are really easily digestible. It's really easy to just save it into a collection. What I like about TikTok specifically is that you can actually see what's going on. If someone tells you about a restaurant, rather than looking at pictures, you can look at videos. People can just explain things better through a video than through pictures and typing. It gives you a really great view of what you're looking at and what you're getting into. Other things I like using are Viator for tours and excursions and other things that you can do on your trip. YouTube, obviously, for finding videos of people that have gone there. Travel blogs, Airbnb experiences is another good one. They've become a really solid way to find things to do on your trip. TripAdvisor, any of these types of websites. CN Traveler is a really good one as well. All of these websites, a lot of people have already done the work of finding the spots and they're already telling you about it. So just make sure you do your research and you'll know exactly what are good things to do, what are things to avoid, and just how to make the trip the best that it can be. And that brings us to our second tip. Make sure you know what you want to get out of the trip. If you're a foodie and you want to explore all of the restaurants and all of the bars and everything that the city has to offer, plan your trip around that. If you want to go lay on a beach and do absolutely nothing, plan it around that. If you love to just wander and get lost in a new city, plan it around that. That can also determine where you want to actually plan your vacation. This is more of a destination picking tip. Once you know exactly what you want out of the trip, it'll really help guide your planning process. It also really helps with budgeting because if you know what you want to get out of the trip, you know how to allocate your money. People can go to a trip with not that much idea of what they want to get out of the trip and they end up spreading themselves too thin or not enjoying the things that they really want to enjoy. So if you're a foodie, maybe just allocate more of your budget towards food. Or if you know you want to take a lot of excursions to see the nature, allocate your budget for excursions and other tours that you can do. Tip number 3, there are going to be certain things that you're going to want to book well in advance. For example, if there's a restaurant that you know you want to check out, you should make that reservation as early as possible, especially if it's a popular restaurant that you know will get crowded. Let's say you're going to Madrid and you want to go see a Real game. Make sure you get those tickets in advance so you know that, you're guaranteed a spot. Sometimes you'll get lucky. When I was in Paris, I bought PSG tickets day of for 40 bucks and we had a great time. But other times you may not get so lucky. So if there's something that you know you want to do, it's better to plan it in advance and make sure that it's all covered. And that gives you peace of mind. You know the things that you want to do are already taken care of and you're already ready to go do it when you get there. Just as I got lucky with my PSG tickets, I've gotten very unlucky with other things that I've really wanted to go check out because I waited too long to book. Tip number 4 is actually an app that I like to use. It's called XE or Z or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but it's just a currency exchange app. Sometimes doing the math in your head or always having to pull out your calculator can get really frustrating and annoying. This app, you can put as many different currencies as you want, and if you enter any price in one of the currencies, it automatically converts it to all the other currencies so you know exactly how much you're paying. This has saved me a lot of time and a lot of hassle, and it also helps me make sure that I know that I'm getting good deals somewhere. It's a really helpful tool. It makes shopping and just paying for anything a lot easier, and it takes a lot of the mental stress out of it, and it just lets you enjoy your trip more. Tip number 5 is going to be to get a universal adapter. This is the TravelSmart Conair. I got this on Amazon for about $10. It's really good. It works for every continent, every country. Really easy to use, really simple. And I would also recommend bringing a power strip along with a universal adapter because this one only has one plug. And even if you have 1 or 2 plugs, if you're like me, you travel with your phone, your laptop. I have things to charge for my camera and mics and lights and all that other stuff that I need to charge. So bringing a power strip and just plugging the power strip into the universal adapter allows you to charge so many more things. You just throw this in wherever. You throw in your backpack, your fanny pack, your camera bag, whatever. And it'll save you a bunch because you don't have to keep buying ones for different countries. Tip number 6, we always like to stay connected wherever we are in the world, especially in today's day and age. I really recommend Google Fi. It's Google's phone plan. It's a lot cheaper than most international plans that our carriers give you or having to go buy an eSIM out in another country. And what's great about it is that it works in almost every single country. So if you're traveling to multiple places on your trip, you can just use the Google Fi plan and it'll work in every single country that you're in. The speeds were great. I felt like I was just connected to my phone at home. I didn't really have to worry about lag or anything like that. I was able to stream YouTube videos, Netflix, everything at great speeds. It felt like I was just using my phone here in the States. You're gonna wanna get the Unlimited Plus plan, which is $65 a person, and the price goes down the more people you have on the plan. So if you're traveling with a group and everyone wants to do it, you can get pretty good prices for it. What's great about Google Fi is that it's an eSIM, so you don't have to worry about, putting in an actual SIM card and losing it or finding that little pin to fit in the hole of your phone. It's an eSIM, so you can automatically switch back and forth between your main carrier and Google Fi. You can have both of them on your phone at the same time. Just make sure that if you are going the Google Fi route, that you get it while you are in the States, and then you can use it when you go to any of the other countries. If you buy it didn't activate it while you're in the States and you go to some other spot, you won't have any problems. One note about it too is that you will have to get a different number for the time being, which can get kind of annoying. If anyone knows any way around that, put it in the comments because I'd love to know. It's not that big of a deal. You still save all your contacts and all your information on your phone. It's not, you don't lose any of that. You'll just text people from a different number. And in my experience, it's been SMS rather than iMessage, which to me isn't the biggest deal in the world, but I know that can be for some people. So like I said, if anyone has any solutions for that or knows what to do, please put that in the comments because I would love to hear it. Tip number 7, your accommodation should not be the first thing that you book. I know the go-to is to book your hotel as soon as you book your flight so you know where you're staying and that's covered. I'd take a beat on that for a second. Plan what you want to do and figure out where everything is, and that'll really help guide where your location of your hotel should be. You don't want to be way out of the city if all the things that you want to do are concentrated in one specific area. It'll make it easier for your day-to-day. You won't have to spend so much time transiting to different places. So I would say take a beat on that, find out what you want to do, look at the map, see where most of the things are located, and make sure that you stay, either right in those locations or near public transit, so it's easy for you to get around. Speaking of transit, that brings us into tip number 8. Look at the transit options wherever you're going. Some places have really good public transit and some places not so much. There's a YouTuber that I like called RM Transit. They do really great comprehensive reviews of public transit options in different cities and a nice breakdown of it and how to use it and tips and everything like that, so I highly recommend you go check that out. Public transit is going to be a lifesaver. It's a lot cheaper than having to Uber or taxi everywhere. In most places, it's really convenient. You just want to make sure you understand how it works, the timings and everything like that, so that way you're not stranded and you know the best way to make the use of your time and the best way to get around. Tip number 9, make sure you research what life is like in the place that you're going to, whether they have different customs, learn a few phrases of the language. That'll really help you out. Like when I went to Paris, I learned that it's very important that you always greet the shop owner and you always greet people when you walk into a store, and that made my experience so much better. A lot of people say Parisians are really rude. I had nothing but great experiences when I was there. Everyone was so nice to me. Just a simple bonjour when you walk in, simple merci, simple thank you. Just be polite, be nice, learn some helpful phrases. It could help you out with that. Along with that, just learn about the customs, the culture when you go. Remember, you are going to someone's home. People live there. They have a way of life about it. Just be respectful of where you're going and just respect their way of life. And you'll be surprised how much a little bit of cultural appreciation can get you whenever you're traveling. Even if you're not fluent or anything like that, people notice that you are making an effort. People notice that you are trying to be kind. And more often than not, people are really nice. They want to help you out. So just don't be stupid, be nice and polite, be respectful. And that brings us to tip number 10. Eat the local food. Even if you're not huge on food, even if you're a picky eater, you should eat the local food. The late great Anthony Bourdain once said, eat at a local restaurant tonight, get the cream sauce, have a cold pint at 4 o'clock in a mostly empty bar, go somewhere you've never been, listen to someone you think may have nothing in common with you, order the steak rare, eat an oyster, have a Negroni. Have 2. Be open to a world where you may not understand or agree with the person next to you, but have a drink with them anyway. Eat slowly, tip your server, check in on your friends, check in on yourself, and enjoy the ride. I really love this quote because it really just embodies what I'm trying to say here. Immerse yourself in the culture, immerse yourself in where you're going. It's a completely different part of the world, it's a completely different way of life, and that's what makes it so beautiful. That's what makes humanity so beautiful. We're so connected, but we're so different, and those differences make us so special. So when you're traveling, really, really take the time to appreciate where you are, appreciate what you're able to do, and just eat the local food. That's the best way I can put it. It's one of the best things that you can do. You'll find so many great things, so many beautiful things around the world. And food is just a really special way that we as humans show our love. You can really feel the love of the people of the land that you're going to. And I really, really recommend that as much as you can, eat the local food. And just one more bonus tip because I'm feeling nice. Be flexible. It's okay to be spontaneous. Some of the best experiences and best memories I've made while traveling have been from spontaneous decisions. Whether that be making a wrong turn or meeting someone at a restaurant and going to get a drink with them afterwards. You can make some great memories, you can make some great friends, and you can make some great stories. I like to have a good balance. I like to plan about 50-ish% of my trip. The other one just kind of leave open, see where the wind takes me. It's a really great way to just experience where you're at and just have a great time. I know there are some people who are super type A, they need to have everything planned out to the very last minute. Honestly, that can kind of take away because then you're just stressed about sticking to the schedule, you lose track of where you are, you lose the appreciation of where you are. So just going with the flow can really, really enhance your trip. Going back to some of the previous tips, when you're building out places you want to go, you can make a custom Google map. Just add everything that you want to do to it. You find all the places, all the locations, you have your pins everywhere. And that way, let's say there's a lull after lunch or something. You can look at your map, see where you're nearby, and you can go find something to do. That way you kind of have somewhat of a plan in your head. You have places that you want to hit, but you're also being spontaneous. But please, when you travel, be flexible. Have a good mindset about it. Nothing ever 100% goes according to plan. If you're traveling with people, it's always great to be flexible, and it just ensures that you have the best possible time. Thank you for watching. I hope these tips helped. If you have any more, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. As always, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.